Fundamentals of Chinese 4, Unit 13, at the airport. Checking in at the airport. Grammar it. Please turn to pages 291 to 294 and have a pen or pencil ready to take notes. Okay, before we go into detail on the, and the three does, I jumped to the end of this section on page 293 to show you a quick guide here, because when we go through, you may get confused at times, so I figured it would just be helpful to show you this first. So in a sentence with the, it's an adjective plus the plus a noun. Okay, so the adjective is, or the attributive, the adjective, is working with the noun, like a blue pencil, for example. Okay, the is dealing with an adverbial. So instead of an adjective modifying a noun, you have an adverbial modifying a verb, like to write well, or to run fast, or to eat slowly, etc. So you're going to have an adverbial phrase modifying a verb. Here, instead of a noun or a verb being modified, it's an adjective or a verb that's being modified by an adjective or a verb. So stop and study this for a moment if you wish, or just continue watching as we move on. Okay, before we go through, some of these are not going to make sense. It's going to seem like two of the does are being used to basically say the same thing. And in some cases it's hard to distinguish, but let's do our best. And you'll see what I mean. So, the basically follows an attributive. So it comes after an attributive, meaning an adjective, but never an adverb. Okay? And the attributive can be formed by an adjective, a noun, or a verbal phrase. So an attributive is basically it's a modifier. So, for example, you have a girl, 女孩子, okay? But let's modify it. She's not just a girl, she's a pretty girl. So she's a 漂亮的女孩子. Okay, so when you want to take 漂亮 to modify 女孩子, you have to put the there. The comes after the adjective and before the noun that's being modified. Okay, so the ones that follow are pretty much the same. Okay, you have a 哥哥的公司. Okay, it's brother's company. And here it's very similar to possessive in English. My company, your company, my brother's company. Okay, but in Chinese they deal with it as an attributive. So what kind of company is it? It's my brother's company, or brother's company. Okay, it's a bedroom. It's my bedroom. 我的卧室, my bedroom. So here it's very similar to our possessive. But when you think about it, my is really still an adjective modifying, it's a modifier modifying bedroom. What kind of bedroom is it? It's my bedroom. It's a big bedroom. It's a small bedroom. It's a messy bedroom. It's my bedroom. Okay. Here's a ticket. 机票. Okay. It could be a U2 ticket. It could be a train ticket. It could be a bus ticket. Or it could be the ticket you just purchased. 刚买. Just bought. A recently purchased plane ticket. Just bought. 刚买的机票. 刚买的机票. A recently purchased ticket. Okay? We usually don't think of it that way in English. But in Chinese it's expressed this way. If you want to say, I lost the ticket I just bought, you would say, 我刚买的机票丢了，不见了. 刚买的机票丢了. 不见了. 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 Okay. 我刚买的机票不见，不见 means you lost it. 不见了 lost it. 我刚买的机票丢了，不见了 lost it. I lost it. Okay, cake, 蛋糕. So here's the noun, cake, but we want to modify the cake. A big cake, a small cake, or the cake my mother made for us. Okay, the cake my mother made for us. My mother made for us is still a phrase that's modifying cake. Okay, it could be a big cake, it could be a small cake, it could be your cake, it could be my cake, it could be the cake my mother made for us. All of those phrases together with cake are modifying cake. What kind of a cake is this? So here we have cake, 蛋糕, and here we have the that's used to come in between the modifying word or phrase and cake. And then, so what kind of cake is it? It's mom made for us cake. 妈妈给我们做的蛋糕. Okay, you may want to pause and study this sentence here and maybe make up some sentences on your own. Okay, the cake mom made for us. 妈妈给我们做的蛋糕. The cell phone I bought yesterday. The cell phone I bought yesterday is broken. Okay, so the cell phone I bought yesterday. So you have cell phone, 手机. And what cell phone is it? It's a cell phone I bought yesterday. So it's going to be 我昨天 I yesterday 我昨天买的手机我昨天买的 I bought yesterday the phone. I bought yesterday the phone is broken. 我昨天买的手机坏了. 坏了 is broken. So you may want to study these and try making your own sentences. Here, in most cases, the is followed by a noun, as you see here. 的蛋糕的机票的卧室. Okay, and we saw that in 1 to 5. But it can also precede an adjective or verb if that adjective or verb serves as the subject of the sentence. Okay, so for example, okay, here you have Nanjing, okay, and Nanjing is hot. So you have hot, okay, 热, hot. Here's our adjective, but it's the subject of the sentence. 热, hot. Okay, but what hot? The hotness from the stove? The hotness from the fireplace? No, it's Nanjing 的热. Nanjing is a city, so it's the heat of Nanjing. And the heat of Nanjing is very well known. 是有名的. Nanjing 的热是有名的. The heat of Nanjing is very famous. Okay. So you may want to again pause and study these, repeat them over, and think about them, and think about other things that you could express. Okay, here's another one. His death, or that he has died, became known to everyone only recently. His death became known to everyone only recently. So, 死, death, but whose death? 他的死, 大家最近才听说. Okay, his death. His death just became known. 他的死, 大家最近才听说. Okay. This the here, okay, links an adverb or an adverbial to a following verb. So up above here, okay, you saw nouns. Okay, see, cake, ticket, bedroom. Okay, these are all nouns that are being modified. Now what you're going to see instead are verbs being modified. See, now we have eat and speak and walk or go and play. Okay, so how are we eating? Okay, now we want to modify a verb instead of a noun. This is in English we usually use adverbs to do this. Okay, so we have our verb 吃 or eat. Okay, eat slowly, eat quickly, eat happily, eat hurriedly. Okay, in this case it's eat slowly. Okay, so to say eat slowly, you have 慢慢地吃 eat slowly. You could get rid of this R. They like to use that in Beijing, but you could just say 慢慢地吃慢慢地吃 eat slowly. Okay, speak. Okay, how about instead of just speaking, speak happily. Okay, 很高兴地说. Okay, he said very happily that he was going to Boston. 他高兴地说他要去波士顿. Okay, he said happily that he was going to go to Boston. Okay, again we have 走 walk. Okay, in this case walk straight. 一直地走一直地走. Okay, and here we have play 玩. Okay, play happily 好好地玩 or play well, play hard, right? 好好地玩. Okay, so in this case we saw verbs being modified. Okay, now here with 的, it's used after a verb or an adjective to connect it with a descriptive complement or complement of degree. Okay, so now with the first 的, we had adjective, we had nouns here like cake or bedroom, and then up above just now we had verbs, so eat or walk, and now here at the end of the sentence after the 的 here we have adjectives. Okay, quick, good. See what else we have. Quick, good, to rise up. Okay, so let's see what these sentences are. Okay, so we're running. Okay, 跑. But how are we running? 跑得很快. We're running fast. Okay. And here, cook well. So we're cooking 做菜. Okay, and you remember we learned these because when you want to talk about 做菜 and you have 做 in you have an object after 做. Okay, cook dishes, cook 菜做菜. So if you want to say cooks well or cooks 菜 well, because there's an object after 做, you have to repeat 做 again and then say 很好的很好做菜做得很好. If you just want to say he cooks well, you could say 他做得很好. But if you want to say something specific, like here, let's see, I could say chicken 做鸡. Okay, he cooks chicken very well. 他做鸡做得很好. Okay, I can't say 他做鸡得很好. I can say 他做得很好. But if I want to say 他做鸡, he cooks chicken well, because I'm adding the word chicken in there, now I have to repeat 做 twice and then put the well after the second 做. 做菜做得很好. Okay, so he rose up or leapt up, right? Jumped up. Okay, 跳起来. How did he jump up? He jumped up happily. 他高兴地跳起来. Okay, it's dangerous. 危险. Okay, it's unbelievably dangerous. 危险的不得了. You'll remember this, 不得了. Okay. Now, in 5 and 6 here, they're going to help you because these last two are sometimes hard to differentiate. So here we have a sentence with the and another sentence with the, and they're pretty much the same, but you'll see how they're different by using these different does. Okay? 他高兴地 唱着歌走回宿舍. Okay, so he sang happily on his way back to the dorm. Okay, here he was so happy that he started to sing. 他高兴地唱起歌来. Okay, so in number 5, 高兴 is used to describe the manner of his singing. He sing happily. 他高兴地唱. He's singing, but he isn't singing sadly. He's singing happily. So it's about his singing. Okay, but in 6, 高兴 is the cause of something. We don't know why he's happy, but he's happy. Okay, and he's so happy that he's going to start singing. Okay, so the singing is the result of his happiness, not the cause of it. 他高兴地唱起来，唱起歌来. Okay, maybe he won the lottery, right? We don't know the cause. Here we know the cause. Oh, no. I'm just saying, in this one, 他高兴的, the cause of this is, the cause of his jumping up is his happiness, but we don't know why he's happy. Okay, so now we've come full circle, and here we are back at the little table. I suggest that you really spend some time studying the sentences in this grammar section, because you have learned here how to express some very important concepts in Chinese that are hard to do if you're trying to translate directly from English. You know, like think about saying, I live in the house my sister used to live in. Okay, think about that sentence. I live in the house that my sister used to live in. Okay, so how would you say that in Chinese? And you're probably going to start trying to directly translate. I lived, right, in the house that my sister used to live in, right? And maybe you've learned how to say used to live in. But in Chinese, you would say, I live in the, my sister used to live in the house. That's how it would come out in Chinese. I live in the, my sister used to live in the house. Okay? 我住在 I live in 我住在我姐姐住过的房子。我姐姐住过 is lived in 住过我姐姐住过的房子。我住在我姐姐住过的房子。Okay? If you want to express that concept in Chinese, I live in the house my sister used to live in. If you want to express that concept very fluently in Chinese, you need to use what you've just learned here, using this the right here. Okay, so very worth it spending some time studying these sentences. Okay, next, they're comparing 的时候 and 以后. So 的时候 is when something is happening at the same time as something else, and 以后 is when something is happening after something else. Okay, so first we're doing 的时候, right? The second action and the first action take place at the same time. Okay, 走的时候别忘了带些钱. Okay, don't forget to take some money with you when you leave. Okay, 走的时候 when you go, don't forget, take some money. 我看见他的时候，他正在打球. Okay, when I saw him, he was playing ball. 我看见他的时候，他正在打球. Right, these are pretty straightforward. 妹妹看短信的时候一边看一边笑. Okay, when my little sister was reading her text message, she was laughing and watching, or reading and laughing. She was laughing while she was reading them. Okay, however, in a sentence pattern with 以后, the second action takes place after the first. Okay, I think that's pretty straightforward, right? 他走了以后才想起来忘了带钱, right? After he left, did he only realize that he forgot to bring his money? Or he didn't realize until after he left that he forgot to take his money with him. Alright, so here's a fine line between these two. The 时候 structure, okay, describes two simultaneous actions. One may say in English, when I get to China, I will eat Beijing roast duck. When one really means, after I get to China, I will eat Beijing roast duck. In Chinese, that idea has to be conveyed with 以后。我到中国以后要吃北京烤鸭。Okay, you can't say 我到中国的时候要吃北京烤鸭. This sentence is incorrect because you won't eat Beijing roast duck until after you arrive in China. Okay, so you have to be careful translating concepts into Chinese from English. And that concludes our grammar lesson.